Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Fire Up. Are we fired up for the football season or what, guys?
Yes, absolutely.
Hallelujah, no more second and third stringers. I'm sick of watching bad
Yeah.
football. I'm sick of watching rookie starters go up against second and third stringers for 7 drives, throw 0 touchdowns, rush one in, and he's the best thing since touchdown Jesus.
I hear you. I hear you. We're going to say hello to all the people so far in the chat because we're going to quick go on there. Let's go Knights, charge on. Josh and the guys are covering the game. So I don't know exactly which game you're talking about, but they'll be in and out. No problem. We appreciate all the comments. The bounce house definitely gets the boom. Let's get it rolling. Go Knights. Well, there's a couple different Knights, so I don't know which Knights you're necessarily talking about. Could be UCF, but I'm not sure. I hope Travis is watching the game. I'm guessing that means I'm surprised SFT didn't make a trip to the bounce house to cover the game. The bounce house is bouncing, my friends. They're covering the UM game this weekend. And then they could have covered UCF tonight, then gone to the swamp after to cover the UM game. Fire up the party. So I can tell you guys, and I don't know if you guys heard or not, but that Scott and I are going up to a place I have yet to be in the state of Florida. We are going to Gainesville, to the swamp. We are covering the Hurricanes versus the Gators game on Saturday. I will be on the field taking pictures, and Scott will be writing a story. So I am super excited because it's the last really big venue in the state of Florida that I haven't been to.
Nice.
That's great.
I am excited. So let's introduce really my panel because I didn't do that even though I went through all those people in the chat room. So next to me is Mr. Ralph Williams. Hello, Ralph. How are you?
How are you? How's everything?
Right?
Good. Everything's great. And, here in Pittsburgh, had a hot day, some rain, and here we are. So, ready for some football. Ready to get fired up tonight. I have a special announcement for everybody. Those of you who didn't watch the NFL Roundtable last night, I have announced, which I haven't announced here in Pittsburgh yet, but will soon. I will be putting Sports Corner back on the radio. It's going to be on 1250 AM, 92.5 FM, The Answer in Pittsburgh every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m.
Awesome.
With me, Ralph Williams, and Smoking Jim Frazier. So
awesome.
And I'm still fighting to keep the TV station up and running that we had our Sports Corner TV show on. Still fighting for that. We have a meeting with the deputy mayor coming up soon here in Pittsburgh. And so things are moving along. Had a radio personality who thinks that the station should be shut down, insulted me a little bit and everything else. And I'm going to see to it that he has egg on his face because I think we can be able to pull this off at the last minute and get to save this the TV station from shutting down. Then you'll get to see Sports Corner TV.
Awesome. And my co-host, Mr. Smoking Jeremy B. How are you tonight?
Good evening. But just for Joshua Dorr, one time.
Good evening, Will.
There's your dog check. Don't ask again.
And Delos, I have not been to the Bounce House UCF Stadium. I guess I really didn't count it as one of the big stadiums, but maybe I'm wrong. So I'll have to put it on the list to go yet. But they're saying good luck and hell yeah. Okay. What's going on? Joshua, thank you for tuning in and saying hi to Will Vogel.
Yes, Will.
Yes, and James is the guy.
Oh, Robert. Thank you, Robert.
That won the drawing when I hit 500 subs.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yep, he's getting a nice free custom tumbler made by Leonard. He gets $25 off if he ever comes into Brandon's off a set of tires.
Nice.
So
You know what? I came up with Jeremy. I asked for some tires. I mentioned your name. They charged me double.
you went to the wrong Brandon's. You must have went to the one on Kettering.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I thought one of the things I was going to do differently in the show is I'm going to introduce a new segment. And the new segment is called Did You Know? And depending on the week, it could be a off the wall little tidbit or nugget. And I thought tonight, since really for most of the college football, the season starts tonight. I mean, I know there was a couple games last weekend and stuff like that, but for most all of the teams, Candy, just an FYI, Josh and the guys only care about two things: the Florida Panthers and the UCF Knights.
No. No,
Really?
you don't say.
That is funny. That is funny. So we're going to talk about some stadiums, some college stadiums, and some of their traditions. I was doing some research, and one of the stadiums, and I don't know why I'm even bringing up the Ohio State, because that's not one of my favorites, but one of their traditions is the marching band. They eloquently form into a beautiful script spelling Ohio, and the dotting of the I is the big tradition. This tradition, which takes many hours of practice, began. You guys have any clue what year that began?
I'd say 1940.
Very close.
Okay.
I was going to say 1938.
1936.
Wow. Jeez.
So that
Jeremy
goes
and I
back
were
to
both
you.
close.
You guys were. Another one of the college traditions. Actually, if you were watching ESPN, you would have seen it tonight. The Buffalo Run with Ralphie at the University of Colorado Boulder. So they are playing tonight, and that tradition goes back to 1967. Then you guys know what they do at Clemson?
Howard
No,
Rock.
I don't.
They have a rock. Some people believe it in a metaphysical properties of crystal, but the players at Clemson University attribute their wins to the magical properties of Howard's Rock, a decorative office stone from Death Valley turned pregame ritual that sits atop the East Zone Hill, beginning in 1966 with the players running past the rock onto the field, where they would later beat Virginia. Howard's Rock has since been touched before every game to increase the chances of the home win. There's all kinds of different ones. Like, I'll say, if for any of you that are Wisconsin fans, and there probably aren't many Wisconsin fans watching right now, but they do jump around in Wisconsin, which is to jump around. And I'll tell you, Scott witnessed this for the first time when we covered a Wisconsin versus Penn State game, and he was up in the press box, and all of a sudden he's like, it was shaking, and he's like, what's going on? Is there an earthquake? What's going on? And no, they were playing this, and the fans were jumping around. It shook the stadium. So that is pretty cool. Let's see. Ralph, you were telling us what they do at pit games, right?
Yeah, pit games at Acrisure Stadium. They play after the third quarter. They play "Sweet Caroline" by Neil Diamond, and what they've done is they've taken "Sweet Caroline," and instead of it just going do 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 sweet, it goes do do do. Let's go Pitt, and how great times we have, and all that, which is not true. But I mean, that's what they've done. They modified it to where it says "Let's go Pitt," and everybody yells "Let's go Pitt."
And yes, Orlando. That is one of the best ones. Orlando or Iowa, they wave to the Children's Hospital is one of the best traditions, period. I agree. I agree.
And that just started like I think it was 20, 30 years ago. That's one of the youngest traditions in college football. But the oldest one, it isn't singing Mr. Brightside. That's not the tradition. That's just something they started doing since the song came out in the 2000s. The tradition is the banner that they touch on their way out of the tunnel. That has been being done since 1956.
Wow.
So I do have another question for you guys.
Okay.
Can you guys name me the oldest rivalry in college football and what year it began?
Well,
All right. I'll
I
go
think I
with.
just
Go ahead,
go.
Jeremy. You go
You
first.
go ahead. You go. You go because I want to see if you're going the
I'm
same
gonna
way.
say, I'm gonna say Michigan, Ohio State, and it's been a tradition since probably the 1800s. But I can't give you a year. I don't know.
That's where I was going, but I think it actually started in like early 1900s. It was like 1906, 1908.
So the oldest rivalry in college football dates back to 1873, and it's Yale versus Princeton.
Oh God.
Who would have ever thought of that one? I like
Exactly.
this. I like this one here. Army Navy. As Joseph said, Army Navy here, and then
I'm sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
Ricky Scott said the same
that's a
thing.
big rivalry too.
The 2017 national champions.
Harvard versus Yale. Patty was close.
Patty was. She had one of them. Yep.
He. I've made the mistake a few times. I've been corrected.
Oh,
Patty's
real
the
quick,
guy.
Colorado's losing 20-14 to North Dakota State.
I do not know who won the 2017
I thought it
college.
was. Let's see. That was Clemson, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't that Sunshine's rookie year?
Was it?
Freshman year, I mean.
That could be. Yep. And Willius, that is a in they stab the middle of the spear. They ride out on a horse, Chief Osceola, and he stabs a spear. So yes, that's a good question. Joshua Dorr, I had a question in the chat for Smoking Jeremy B.
And we're trying to get through our topics at the same time.
Where was his question? Do you even know?
I don't remember.
I don't. Smoking Jeremy B. Did you know that Scott wrote a book? Yes.
I gave him the
He's actually read
thumbs up. I read it.
Oh,
and
really?
reviewed it on
Is that
Barnes and
so?
Noble.
Oh, I wasn't aware that he wrote a book. Oh my.
Wow. I mean, I don't write for his publication myself.
Jeremy's what's called, I think, a freelance writer, right?
And hello, Fernando.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, Ralph and JB. And a special hey to the beautiful
All right.
lady.
What's up, Brent?
Oh, look at Brent. Such a flirt.
Look at him.
UCF 2017 national champs. Was that? No.
Oh, snap. I'm late.
It happens.
Team Candy. All right. I like that, Fernando. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
I like it when the team buys me candy too.
What's the topic? We're talking college football.
Football.
Yep, football is back. So what are there any specific games this weekend you guys are looking forward to?
Penn State, West Virginia.
Okay.
That's going to be an interesting game. We're going to see what Penn State's made of, and we're going to find out if West Virginia can have a better season they did last year. And I refuse to talk about Pitt.
Okay.
Michigan's got a cupcake on the schedule, so. Iowa State
Rutgers
University. to
Rutgers is up
USC.
on
That's
Howard 38-7.
Look at this chat room going.
Yeah, it's
Rutgers-
going right.
I'm going to
Rutgers
say
is taking
obviously
to Howard.
I'm obviously looking forward to the game that I'm going to be covering, the Miami Hurricanes versus Florida Gators.
That's
Part
going to
of
be a
that-
dogfight.
It'll be interesting. This is Mario's third year as head coach, and I think they're going to be able to do a little bit of damage this year. But we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Well, let me
to see.
say this, Candy, and I know you guys like the Hurricanes and all that, but I think if he fails this year, I think he's out, and Miami's just going to have to eat his contract because I just don't see the Miami alum letting this go on. I mean, if he has a bad year, I mean, they paid a lot of money to get him there, and so
They did.
Josh wanted to know what was for dinner tonight. I had stuffed cabbage.
I'm not doing another dog check. I'm done. Dog check. There you go.
Yeah, I had stuffed cabbage.
Yes, and
I had-
Clemson versus Georgia is a big game this weekend.
Yeah, that's another good one.
I had.
How about
air
the-
fried-
How about the Georgia Tech Florida State game? Georgia Tech beat them.
I had air fried chicken tenders. If anyone needs to know what I had for dinner.
I had fish and zucchini. So,
Wow. That's a good combination there.
It is. It is.
Did you trust the Gorton's fisherman?
I know I've
I-
asked this before, but I hope U of M doesn't fall flat on their face because Jim Harbaugh is gone. I don't think
expect
they
it.
will. I don't think they will fall flat on their face.
I said it's an 8 or 9 win season compared to winning the national championship, going undefeated. That's falling flat.
No,
on
I'm
your
not
face.
Polish, but my first wife was Ukrainian, and she used to make stuffed cabbage all the time. Some of the best. No, I'm not Polish. I'm Italian and Irish.
Jealous of Candy. I had nothing and liked it not. Well, I came home and cooked.
We got
Jane.
some great people here tonight. It's just, yeah.
There you go, Ralph. That stuff will make you head right to the nugget depository.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
We do have quite a few people chatting tonight. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, from on all the channels. It's not just one
Yes.
channel or the other. They're all over the place, and I love it.
That's
Yeah.
great that this show's gone to this. That is great.
So let's see. You guys want to hear a fun fact? Gage Goldberg, son of Bill Goldberg, wrestler, plays football for Colorado, and Bill played for Georgia.
Yeah, and Colorado has Dayon Hayes. He's a defensive lineman. He plays for them now. He was with Pitt, and he's from the local, from the Pittsburgh Public Schools. He played for Westinghouse, who is one of the powerhouses in Western Pennsylvania.
We love it when the South Florida Tribune addresses the chat. Sometimes Scott ignores us. It depends on what the topic is, and if you guys are commenting that on the topic, or if we're letting you guys just roll and talk, because it just depends. So sometimes Scott is very scripted. So
Can I read it how he meant to say it instead of how it's spelt for Orlando's last comment here?
sure.
His
That one?
daughter is going to be an Olympic shot putter soon. I don't think we can say that other word on the air because this is Scott's channel and he don't like those words.
True. And thank you, Will. I will tell Scott you say hi. He's battling with some issues with his throat and stuff like that. So that's why he is no longer technically going to be on Thursday nights. We're going to try and keep him off. So he only does shows 3 nights a week, which is still plenty. But I appreciate you saying hi to him. Just trying to support good content. Well, we appreciate that. Thank you. So what do we think about, let's see, Pittsburgh's named Wilson now the starter.
Yes.
Is that what you thought was going to happen?
I thought so because Mike Tomlin, that's the way it is with him. He could be the worst quarterback in the league, and whoever comes in, he just says, "Oh, you're the starter." It was a good quarterback. What they said was a quarterback battle. Mike Tomlin has a bad habit of doing that. He did that with Trubisky and Pickett, and then he ended up naming Trubisky the starter anyway. He makes it look for something the media to write to or say or whatever. Keep them on their toes. And Brandon Ayuk is not coming to the Steelers because he signed today with San Francisco. So.
Mm-hmm. Joshua Dorr wants to know, Ralph, how long have you been in the business?
Broadcasting business overall, 30 years. Was once a radio DJ. I now DJ weddings and parties on my own. And I've been in the podcasting business since a little before COVID. I started broadcasting in Raleigh in 2019.
Let's see. What other NFL news do we want to talk? You want to talk about, Jeremy? You want to talk about Brandon Ayuk?
I'm just glad Brandon Ayuk is signed by San Francisco. And they said they weren't going to trade him anyway. So it doesn't matter.
So much for stealing what she just asked me to talk about.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeremy. I didn't mean to interrupt.
She literally just said, "Do you want to talk about Jeremy?
That's my fault."
About Brandon Ayuk?" And I was like, I've been saying for weeks that Brandon Ayuk wasn't going anywhere because they made the asking price too high and no one would trade for him to do that, then have to resign him. So he'd come crawling back the same way they did 2 years ago with Deebo Samuel. And that's exactly what happened.
I was hoping he was gone. Got Kittle on my fantasy.
Kittle still gets his.
Mm-hmm. Hello, RGJX.
Yes, hello. No, I'm not a Tomlin fan, Orlando. Tomlin is a fake and a phony. And he's a horrible head coach. And if it wasn't for Art Rooney, if Art Rooney II was not the owner and had the majority share of the stakes or the stocks, he wouldn't, or whatever in the team, Mike Tomlin would never be here. One of the minority owners actually sold his or got out because he wanted Mike Tomlin out. Him and about 3 or 4 other of the minority owners, and no can do. So,
Ralph, a question to you: do you think James Mann will play this year?
James Mann, I don't know who James Mann really is. I don't know. Who's he play for?
Joshua, you got to expand for us, please. Will, are you watching the UCF game? We had the Colorado game on, and North Dakota State's they're giving Colorado a game. That much I can tell you.
Western Carolina, which is Pitt's Cade Bell, Pitt's offensive coordinator, was the head coach at Western Carolina last year. They're tied with North Carolina State 14-14.
Will says, I've got my second team Lions winning 10-12, but 12.
I got the Lions at 11-13.
Yeah, we got some jokers out there. James Mann is a journalist.
Yeah.
Got some real major jokers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. How bad did Dallas screw with a Lamb deal and needing to sign Dak and Parsons still? Heard they also just picked up Cook.
Yes, they picked up Cook to the practice squad. CeeDee Lamb, he got a deal, but it actually is a lot friendlier than everybody thought it would be because he got like $33.5 million a year compared to Justin Jefferson, who's up at 35. He deserved to get paid. And they've already said what they're doing with Dak. They're not doing anything. They're letting him play, and if he actually does something in the playoffs, then they'll talk extension with him. But until that time, Dak's playing for his contract somewhere else, is what he's doing.
So,
And
what do we think about the QB job? Jacoby Brissett getting it in New England over Drake May.
Well, I think that was a smart move by a new coach. That's what I think. You know, Jacoby Brissett's been there and done that. And if he fails, you have Drake May there. You drafted him in the first round. Let him play. You know, New England's not going to do much anyway. But although Drake May's going to learn because he's got a good offensive coordinator there in Alex Van Pelt.
is Allen Robinson tall? I always thought he was kind of on the short side when he played for
Short
Chicago.
side, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was like 6', 6'1" at most. Tim Patrick, I'll be honest. Tim Patrick is a low risk, high reward. We signed him directly to the practice squad, which is a league minimum. So that means he has probably the best hands in our practice squad right now. But the fact he just had an ACL tear 2 years ago, and last year it was an Achilles tendon repair, you're talking about a 30-year-old wide receiver who's 6'4" and 217.
No, Patty, I didn't start when I was 10 in
So
broadcast.
I think it is a good deal, but because it's low risk, high reward. If he makes the team and plays and stays healthy, fantastic. If he doesn't, I equate it to what we did in 2021. It's the same as the Terrell Williams signing. It'll be Terrell Williams 2.0.
What do we feel about Atlanta Falcons trading quarterback Taylor Heineke to the Los Angeles Chargers in exchange for a conditional 6th-round pick?
Well, maybe Raheem Morris. You know, we all know Kirk Cousins will start if he's still not hurt. He will start down there. You know, they got rid of Desmond Ritter. They got rid of Marcus Mariota. So we'll see what Raheem Morris and the gang do down there in Atlanta.
Not cool to do personal attacks.
Let's see what else. Well, I can obviously. I don't know if you guys. Well, I'm sure you guys have heard that for the Packers, AJ Dillon went down. He's out for the year with a neck injury. That's scary. That's scary because you can't mess with neck injuries. So whether that means he's just done for the year or who, I mean, it could be career. I don't know. That's something you don't mess with.
No, not at all. I have one. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not naming names, but the comment looks like a personal attack to me.
Which one's that?
I don't want to say any names. I just said this.
Oh, yeah. No. I know which one you're talking about, Jeremy. It's all right. I'm used to it.
I know, but it's a day and age where I don't mind if you're going to talk crap about some. Doesn't matter, Joshua Dorr. Stop bringing it up. Good Lord. Some people can't leave well enough alone, can they?
No.
James Burgess, I'm not sure the neck injury is going to require fusion. I don't know. I don't think they've disclosed what AJ Dillon is, what they're going to do with AJ Dillon. If he's going for surgery, I have not heard.
No, asking me to name names is harassing me. I said I'm not going to name names. I need a second.
So, and then the Packers acquired Malik Willis from the Titans.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, we were talking about that last night about Malik Willis. You know, he's an interesting case. Played at Liberty. I watched him in the Senior Bowl and I thought, well, you know what, this guy could be a good NFL talent. He has great feet. good footwork, can throw. Then he goes to the Tennessee Titans. Arthur Smith leaves to go to Atlanta. He goes to the Tennessee Titans, and I can't remember who their offensive coordinator was after Arthur Smith left. But anyway, it just didn't work out for him there, you know. And now he's with Green Bay. We'll see what happens. You know, sometimes a change of pace, a change of scenery just might work for you. And Matt LaFleur and his gang are pretty decent at working with quarterbacks. So let's see what they can do with Malik Willis. Malik Willis might end up being a really good backup.
The Packers let the other two go. So
yeah, that's crazy. But Matt LaFleur must know something, Candy. It's that simple.
Sometimes I think it's players in the wrong situation with the wrong coaches that they just need the right coach to come along and help them out. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. Let's see. I mean, let's face it, I hope we never have to see Malik Willis in there. But you never, in the same breath, you just never know.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
We know Malik Willis. That's the bad part.
Yeah.
I can't believe, and I said this last year when things were bad, Candy, and you were a Packers fan, and I know you follow some of those Packers chats. I think it was around week 4 or 5. We heard everybody start Sean Clifford, Jordan sucks, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And now, who's on the team and who's not?
Yeah,
Clifford's
Jordan.
on the practice squad. They literally traded for Malik Willis, which we've seen him start in NFL games. And we know he's not good.
No.
And let him have the quarterback too. While Sean Clifford's sitting on the practice squad because Michael Pratt went somewhere else. And statistically, the best preseason rostered quarterback for Chicago, Brett Ripien, is now the backup for Sam Darnold in Minnesota because he was signed today.
Kind of funny how things maneuver, right?
Oh, absolutely. And Ryan Tannehill's still sitting out there too.
Well, Ryan has come out and said that he does not want to be anybody's number 2. So it's number 1 for him or not.
Well, that's why he's still sitting there.
Right. And he said he's perfectly happy to sit at home with his family and wait for a quarter, not wishing for it, but wait to see if a quarterback goes down, and he'll call that team to be their starter.
Right.
Which is kind of smart and dumb at the same time. You want to know why? Because when you get there, you got to learn the playbook. So that means they're still starting that other quarterback first.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Joseph Austin, his backup was Malik Willis. I don't think he could mentor him. I'm sorry.
Well, Brian Callahan's a pretty decent offensive mind. He's got his father there too at Tennessee. It's too bad that they didn't, take a chance with him a little bit. But you got Mason Rudolph there, and so they don't need Malik Willis.
And they got Will Levis.
Oh yeah.
Okay, guys, my town.
Okay.
We can always go back to some more other topics, but so Jeremy, what's happening in your town that you want to talk about?
Well, the preseason's done. The 52-man roster is set. And thank God Jake Fromm, with 3 days, looked better in 1 quarter than Nate Sudfeld has Sorry, I went to my nicknames again. Nate Sudfeld has looked in 2 seasons of preseason work with Detroit.
No.
Your comments are not blocked.
Nope.
But that being said, it is what it is. We got we had 16 guys, but with the cutting of CJ Moore, yes, I did see that Ford Field was completely sold out for a preseason game. No one has been able to let me forget that it was sold out for a preseason game. I'm not as hyped about a preseason game being sold out as some people are, because you know what? It's still a preseason game. All that is extra money for the owners while the players make less. Um, I'm. It's a nice thing. Congratulations, we did it. On to bigger and better things. My goals are way bigger than selling out a preseason game.
Probably to the answer to the pork chop question.
Ralph, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, we lost Isaac Salamalu for a month. He has a pectoral injury, and they had to do some shuffling of the line. They have Troy Fonamalu. He's going to be in the right tackle position. Dan Moore is going to swap back and forth, and Broderick Jones will play left tackle. Open door, Dan Moore will be swapping back and forth depending on where the needs are. Also, Russell Wilson is officially our starting quarterback. He looked pretty good in the last preseason game. Of course, it was just preseason, but he looked okay. And so that's where we're going to go with him. I'm interested to see what the defense is going to do. We have some injuries there as well. We'll find out what happens this year. Let's hope. Oh, good, Jeremy.
No. I was just going to tell Candy, you don't have to put that one on the screen. That was in my comments for my channel. He asked what my nickname for Caleb was, so I typed it out.
Yep, I hear you. I see you.
So anyway, the Pirates, on the other hand, got blown out 2 games against the Cubs, and then the last game last night they were up 10-3, and they lost to the Cubs again. So that's where the Pirates are. They're in last place again. I hope somebody gets fired at the end of the season, but I highly doubt it because nobody wants to work for Bob Nutting, the owner, anyway. So that's it there. Really, for me, Penguins are getting started up. Hockey training camps are coming up in September, and we're going to see what happens with hockey as we go along. So, that's my town right now, Candy. Oh, and by the way, I'm back from Erie, Grove City. So
Joshua Dorr, please. The only thing I got upset about is you keep talking about the issue. The issue didn't concern you, where I'd have said something.
So my town. Well, let's see. The town down here. I'm still stoked that I get to cover the Hurricanes Gators game, but I have to give kudos to my Milwaukee Brewers. They are still in first place in the NL Central, up 9.5 games yet at August 29th. Nobody thought they were going to win the National League Central starting this year. Knowing that Craig Counsell left, knowing that we have Pat Murphy as his first year and I think he is doing an astronomically good job. I think he should win Coach of the Year, to be honest with you. He is playing with a lot of rookies. Candy, can we get the score on so put the score in the chat and I'll put it up for you. Blas, I'm not exactly sure, but kudos to them. I am hoping they continue. Let's see. USF 57 to New Hampshire 3. That is the score right now. So everyone can see it. Okay. UCF
has 57 to New Hampshire's 3. Holy smokes. They scored 23 points in the second quarter and so far 28 points in the third quarter.
Well, it's like Central Michigan is up 66 to Central Connecticut 66 to 10. That's
Central Connecticut's in the Northeast Conference, Candy. They play with Robert Morris. So
What about Arkansas 56 to Arkansas? I don't even.
State.
Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions 56
Oh,
to nothing.
Broski Bear said my nickname about Caleb cracks him up.
third quarter, my NC State Wolfpack up 17-14 on Western Carolina.
And Coach Prime taking it to North Dakota. It is halftime, and North Dakota is up 20 to 17. So Coach Prime is not taking it to North Dakota. He is losing to North
He's
Dakota.
losing. Yeah.
Oh, he
And-
took it to North Dakota, all right. He just took it on the wrong way.
Well, and they're at home, but yes, they want to see UCF get to 100. I don't know
And
about that one, but
the guy I really wanted to make the Lions, I do want to add this real quick. Matthew Betts, the CFL Defensive Player of the Year, he did not make the team. He was not added to the practice squad, and he has signed a contract today back with the British Columbia Lions. So even though he left the Lions, he's still a Lion at heart.
aw,
We just
Nice.
took Reyes Plumley from UCF, put him on the practice squad. They were supposed to use him kick return and wide receiver and hand out water and towels and stuff, but they put him on the practice squad.
mm-hmm.
It is a bummer about Betts. I hated it because Ralph, you know the play I'm talking about. It
Yeah.
was when Fields first got on. It was his first third down in that drive when you guys had the big play at the end of it. Betts makes a sack, but because Stephen Gilmore holds a wide receiver 5 yards downfield where the play wasn't even at, and the ball and Fields wasn't even looking that way, it's defensive holding and an automatic first down. It negated a sack against your first string offensive line, and I think that ultimately cost him his job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brent, thank you for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it. Have a blessed night
Absolutely.
yourself.
Thank you.
Don't do too much bad there, Brent. He said I got to go to bad. He didn't say bad. He said bad.
He's going to bed. That's a good one.
I usually do bad, and then I got to be punished for it, and I usually have to call someone to do it for me because I don't like hitting myself.
Do you want a shout out to Caitlin Clark? She set the WNBA rookie 3-point record. So good for her.
She's not done setting records. She's going to set a different record every year her career in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm. But good for her. Good to see that.
Just looking at the comments and they're going back and forth, and it's hilarious. My guys on my channel are a hoot, Joshua Dorr. That's what you're missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Robert Morris plays their first game is against Utah State at Utah State. That's going to be an interesting.
Oh.
I do have to give a shout out to Coco Gauff. She's from Deerfield Beach, Florida, and she actually won her second round here at the U.S. Open. So good luck to her.
Oh, good. Congratulations on her.
Exactly. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
The Rams might be in trouble week 1.
Really?
They've lost both their starting tackles. They lost 2 of their tackles to the waiver wire. They lost a guard to the waiver wire. Jonah Jackson, I don't know what he hurt. I won't use my my joke I said, but last year he missed 4 weeks due to a hangnail as an offensive lineman. He missed 4 weeks due to a boo-boo.
Due to a boo-boo.
Due to a boo-boo. So that's the main reason why the Lions didn't want to give him that big money. And lo and behold, the Rams paid him $18 million, and he didn't even make it out of the offseason. It's not a good look. They gave him 3 years, 54 million, and I said, "You watch." I said he's gonna miss games this year because he hadn't missed a game until this past year with Detroit, and when he started missing them, it was 2 from here, 2 from there, 3 here. He missed a total of 8 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad says, "I can't believe they snubbed her from the Olymp." It really wasn't a snub. It's a technicality.
Mm-hmm.
When the Olympic trials were going on for the women's basketball team, Caitlin and Angel Reese, neither one of them got to play in it because they were in the national championship run in the women's Sweet 16.
Right.
So there's a reason why they didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Joseph Austin, he got 18 million a year. It was either 18 million or 17.5. It was some stupid number that I'm glad we didn't pay, because look at statistically, Kevin Zietler, the guy we signed for 6 million at a third of his price, is twice the offensive guard he is.
Yeah, I've said this many times, Jeremy and Candy, that there are some people who they overpay and they're bums, and it happens all the time. And you'll get a guy who might be a rookie, and he might play better than the veteran you're paying big money to, and that's when you have to cut him. But the sad part about it is, like you said, Jeremy, with the Rams, they're in deep trouble if they got rid of some of these guys, and then end up having egg on their face.
Well, I know we don't normally talk a lot of basketball, but how do you guys feel about the Warriors paying? They signed Steph Curry to a 1-year, $62.6 million extension.
Wow, 1 year.
With it being a 1-year thing, I hope it's set up with a Bobby Bonilla type of contract, because that's just plain stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
So they agreed to a 1-year, $62.6 million extension that keeps him under contract through the 26-27 season. Curry, 36 years old, is guaranteed to receive $178 million over the next 3 years of his contract.
Wow. It'll be Steph Curry Day.
The only game that looks like it's a game right now being played, that's WCU, Western Colorado Carolina University versus NC State, is up 21-17. That's an upset alert, people.
Yes, it is.
Kansas is beating the community college Lindenwood. They're playing 34-0. Missouri is beating Murray State 35-0. Utah is up right now 14-0 over Southern Utah. And that's the scores we didn't hear already.
Yes. Okay, anything else you guys want to talk about tonight?
No, the only thing I want to say is, is October 4th, 2 to 3 p.m., Saturday, October 4th. Sports Corner goes back on the radio with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, and we are going to be on The Answer, which is 12:50 a.m. and 92.5 FM. So I look forward to everyone listening. And if you can't get the channel and you're out of state, you can always watch online. So
awesome. So Ralph, why don't you tell us how everybody can see you, watch you, support you?
YouTube channel, Ralph Williams RW Media. Also check out my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com. It just came up about a week ago. So check that out. I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Twitter X. I'm on Tumblr. I haven't been on Tumblr for a while. So that's how you can get a hold of me. And so I look forward to everyone listening, watching. Don't forget September 3rd, this coming Tuesday, Sports Corner. We're back after it's being off for a couple of weeks. And we have some great guests coming on. We have a At 4 o'clock, we have Ray Fittipaldo from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette to talk about the Steelers. 4:30, Keith Engel, my buddy from TGI Sports Network, will be on to join us. We're going to talk about the NFL as a whole. And then at 5 o'clock, Matt Betzel from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette to talk about the Penguins. And then our wrestling segment at 5:30, local wrestling promoter Bubba Brewer will be joining us. So for our wrestling segment, we're going to talk about the Bash in Berlin WWE.
Nice.
And thank you, Joseph. Hello to you too.
Okay, Smoking Jeremy B, how can people support you and find you?
Well, first of all, you can find my writings right here on the SouthFloridaTribune.com. Holy smokes. Yeah, I write for these people. I write about that team I like to talk about. The Detroit Lions there. You can also find me on this channel, occasionally on Inside the Pigskin.
Excuse me.
South Florida Tribune YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, go over there and click it. They support me. I support them. We all support each other here. I also belong to RW Media up there, the YouTube channel for Ralph. So
we're back September 7th.
Okay, so a week from Saturday.
That's it, September 7th.
The External Bum picks
the External Bum Show on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I refuse to pay Elon Musk any extra money to be on Twitter X, so that's why we're not there anymore. And it's with me, Ralph Williams, is your host. Scott Morganroth, Candy's husband, and a great guy that runs the South Florida Tribune and has all broadcast shows. Also, Jeremy Ballrick and Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports. Jeremy Ballrick from the Kneecap and Lion talks about Detroit Lions. 9 a.m. start time.
Yes.
We'll be talking about bums and sports and some other topics.
And then to top it all off, on top of being on the South Florida Tribune YouTube channel, the RW Media YouTube channel, there's my channel, which a lot of you are commenting from. And Joseph, yes, we have argued in the past, but we agree more often than we argue. I will admit that, because we support the same team. But at the same time, it's kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions. I am on 7 days a week anymore, because anytime I'm not on, I air the other shows I'm on. I got 9 of my own shows and 3 that I guest star on. So that's pretty damn good.
Sounds like it. Sounds like you be busy.
Just a little.
Just a little. Well, I'm going to brag. My husband wrote a book. Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by Scott, the Motor City Madmouth.
I was trying to get thumbs up on each side of the book.
Here, I'll put it up by Ralph there. It's up in the upper corner. You can find the link to it on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com. You can also find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Apple, and Google Books. The link to our website has it. Also on our website, we have a link to our store, so our merchandise store. We also have great writers. Scott, Jeremy writes, George Eichhorn writes. I take pictures. I put them up there. There's also transcripts from the Dolphins, the Lions, and the Jaguars. We have lots of local colleges down here in Florida sending us their football content and other sports. We have the Gators. We have the Hurricanes. We have the Seminoles, the Owls, FAU Owls, the USF Bulls. They all send us content. So you got to go to our website, check it out. We also have the Marlins. For those, I know somebody said that they were only a UCF fan and a Panthers fan. Well, the Panthers do send us things. We also, on our channel, Monday nights, on Fire Up Florida, we talk hockey. We talk on 108 Stitches Baseball Talk. We talk baseball. Tuesday nights, Inside the Pigskin, and all kinds of football. Wednesday nights is Sports Exchange. You never know what you're going to get, what kind of sports we're talking about. And obviously here on Fire Up, we talk about just about anything, although we've been really kind of leaning towards sports, but you just never know. Maybe we'll come up with a topic that's non-sports related.
For all you old Detroit Lions heads, just to let you know, Mel Farr Jr., son of Mel Farr superstar, is on Inside the Pigskin, as well as former Lions special teams coach John Bonamego, who also coached the CMU Chippewas.
Yes, yes. So definitely go check out. And Travis Holmes used to play for UCF. So for your UCF fans, he used to play back in the day.
Defensive back.
Very good, very good. And I think Bo played too, but I don't remember what position.
Bo played water boy. No, just kidding.
But yeah, and if you like to listen to podcasts, you can hear us wherever you get your podcast. But please, if you see that red subscribe button, please subscribe to us, but also subscribe to both the gentlemen you see on the screen too, because we all are supporting each other and we all want to grow together. They both have great content on their YouTube channels as well, so support all of us. That's what this is all about, and I appreciate everyone that was in the that commented tonight. We had such an active chat room. I can't even list them all, but I want to say thank you to all of them that have been there.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what this is all about. We like to have fun and talk with our, feed off our guests as long as they're keeping down the straight and narrow. But anything else you guys want? I mean, this is a long weekend. Anybody else got anything fun planned besides, obviously we know my plans, going to the swamp, but anything you guys have planned for the long weekend?
No, I'm just resting from my vacation actually, because we really didn't get a lot of rest. But I will be doing that. I'm watching the Bash in Berlin for WWE, and I might just check out the Pitt game a little bit, but I want to see the West Virginia Penn State game more. So
I actually need to do some self-quality control, so I am going to be inspecting the inside of my eyelids as much as possible for pinholes.
it's inspecting your eyelids. I like that one. That's a
You
good
don't
one.
find many pinholes.
Hopefully not, because I want to get some sleep. No, that literally is it. Last weekend I did something that I do around that time of year because it was my grandmother, who was my second mom. She passed away about 13 years ago now. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but so on her birthday, or somewhere around her birthday weekend, I usually go up and spend time where I laid her and my eldest son's ashes. So
Oh,
I did
man.
that last.
Sorry to hear that.
I did that last Saturday.
Okay.
I got out of work. I drove up there. Fell asleep talking to him. Got back in the car, drove home, and it was 5 a.m. My mom said, "What time did you get home?" 5 a.m. "Where were you?" "I told you where I'd be." And she goes, "Oh, yeah." That was her mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the pier there in Oscoda, if for anybody that knows where it is, it's across from the Asable Huron campground, which is now a Millennium campground. Back then, it was a gravel road that meandered through like 4 rows of trailers, and my grandma's was the third one in from the old bait shop at the corner of the point, and so that's why we put her ashes there.
I understand. Well, Jeremy, you want to take us home like you
Of
always
course.
do at the end?
Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. And not everybody has the same mentality I do. When I need to talk, that's what I do, is I use that time to talk and get things off my chest that you don't really want to talk to anyone about. Because I live my life not to bring anyone down around me.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
sometimes those one-sided conversations, they need to be had for a long time.
Yep.
I always come out of that visit better. So please, unless you're talking to your rival fan base and you know how I feel on my team, on my channel, be nice to everybody. everybody deserves love. You can talk trash about their team, but do not trash the people.
Correct. I would totally agree with that. Because let's face it, Jeremy, you and I, our teams are opposite. Not opposites, but they're like enemies. Let's put it that way.
We're rivals. Yes.
We're rivals. We are. But yet we both have respect for each other. And I would say we both have respect for each other's teams to a certain extent. We don't like the other team, but we respect. And I think that's the one thing that so many people have lost is literally respect for others.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
And I'm sorry, Broski. I saw what you said, and now I understood it better. But when you're not paying attention to the chat and you look at somebody asking somebody how much food can they eat, it's not a good look.
Yep.
That's what
Okay,
I was
guys.
getting at.
Let's just have a great weekend, a great Labor Day.
Everybody be safe.
Have
be
fun
safe.
Happy Labor Day.
and
and,
enjoy the games this weekend.
Yes, and happy Labor Day.
Great. Absolutely, Walter Mitchell. If everybody could treat each other the way they want to be treated, instead of the way you treat an enemy, because that's the way most people talk to each other anymore. They don't talk to each other as another human being. They talk to them like they hate each other. There's enough hate in this world. We have enough hate being drummed up by media, politicians, and everything else. That's why we don't talk politics on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Happy
Exactly.
Labor Day. Why is Labor Day a holiday? Because
Celebrates labor.
it celebrates the birthday of the UAW after the big sit-down strike that started right here where I'm from in Flint, Michigan. And in that picture, outside of Fisher One, which is no longer there, and I think it's a travesty that building is gone. My grandfather on the front page of the Flint Journal for the day it started, my great-grandfather, I should say, was the one playing the banjo in the picture. William G. Rourke.
Awesome.
Fast forward to 1975, September 5th. Guess what? That's the Tuesday after Labor Day, because back when I was a kid, you started the day after Labor Day for school. There was some upstart little 4-year, 11-month-old kid standing next to a 3-year-old man. And it was my dad and me on the cover of the Metro Station section of the same paper.
Okay, guys. Happy Labor Day. Everybody have a great, safe, and happy Labor Day. We'll see you next week. Enjoy all the games. Till next time.
Absolutely.